building doesn't look like a crime scene. Clean glass, sharp corners, 42 floors of quiet ambition. You touch the plaque as you walk in. Brass, cold. The name feels important under your fingers. You are 21. You beat 800 applicants for this spot. You know the fund manages 11 billion. That was enough. Your badge says summer analyst. Your floor is 31. The elevator requires a key card. You feel important. You adjust your chair 3 times. You align your keyboard. You place your pen parallel to the notebook. You are stalling. You sign your name in a leather guest book. Your handwriting shakes. You pretend it always looks like that. You step onto the floor. It is quieter than you expected. No shouting, no chaos. Just the click of keyboards and the hum of money moving. Your team is 7 people. Everyone shakes your hand. Everyone smiles. You don't know yet that one of them is stealing. You are entry number 4012. The guest book doesn't know you'll be the last. Your desk faces east. You can see the Chrysler building from your chair. Your salary is $25 an hour. You would have done it for free. You don't tell them that. You make your first espresso. The machine costs more than your car. You spend the first week watching how they talk, how they move, how they laugh like people who know the future. You are the last intern to leave most nights. You tell yourself it is dedication. It is actually curiosity. Your job is data, pull reports, build models. You ask no questions. That is what good interns do. You eat at your desk, everyone does. The kitchen has free food, organic, expensive. Interns eat well at hedge funds. You see things you are not supposed to. The PM on the phone, his face when he hangs up, the way he closes his Bloomberg before walking away. You notice you don't say anything. You bake your coffee. You go back to your desk. You pass the trophy case every day. Awards, magazine covers. The founder on CNBC in a framed screenshot. You think these are people who figured it out. You think you want to be them. Week 2, you stay late because you want to impress. You pull trade data for a presentation. You notice something. A cluster of large trades executed 14 minutes before a public earnings announcement. You ride down 31 floors. Each floor is a chance to forget what you saw. You reach the lobby. You haven't forgotten. 14 minutes. You stare at the number. You check it again. You check the source data. 14 minutes. You tell yourself it is a coincidence. Coincidences happen in markets. You close the file. You go home. You can't sleep. 14 minutes. You do the math. The trade made Crucible $2.3 million. You tell yourself to forget it. You are an intern. You don't know anything. You close your eyes. They don't stay closed. You ride the subway home at 11 p.m. The car is empty. Your reflection looks worried. You tell it to stop. You go to the laundromat at midnight. You write notes while the clothes spin. Nobody looks at a guy doing laundry. You search SEC rules on your personal laptop, pre-announcement trading windows, material non-public information. You read for 2 hours. You take notes. You feel like a detective in a movie, except the movie is your life. You arrive early the next Monday, before anyone else. You pull 3 months of trade data, 7 trades, 7 announcements, every trade executed within 30 minutes of material non-public information going live. You are not a lawyer. You are not an investigator. But you took securities law. You know what this is. This is insider trading. You are looking at it. 7 instances. 31 million in profit. Your hands are cold. Your mouth is dry. You minimize the spreadsheet. You look around. Nobody is watching. You pretend everything is normal. You smile. You say good morning. You build the model they asked for. Your heart rate doesn't drop below 90 for the rest of the day. You check. You splash water on your face in the bathroom. You look at yourself. You look like an intern. That is the only thing protecting you. You walk past his office, the PM, the one who made the trades. He is reading the journal, feet on the desk, relaxed. You nod at him. He nods back. You keep walking. Your coffee tastes like ash. You disappear into the crowd. Penn Station, rush hour. Nobody looks at you. That is exactly what you need. You document everything in pen. Pen can't be erased. Your attorney told you that. Pen on paper. Dates first. You sit at your desk and grip your own hands under the table. You don't know what to do. You are 21. You are an intern. You found something that could destroy an $11 billion fund. Nobody asked you to look. You eat lunch outside. You can't eat in the building. The food tastes wrong when you know. You Google insider trading penalties on your personal phone. 10 to 20 years. You close the browser. You read about other whistleblowers. What happened to them? Some got millions. Some got blacklisted. You read about a man who reported his firm and never worked in finance again. You close the tab. You open it again. You think about calling your mother. You don't know what you'd say. You put the phone down. You research at home, SEC enforcement actions, whistleblower protections. You learn the SEC pays whistleblowers. You don't care about the money. Someone has to say something. You underline evidence required twice. You need proof, not suspicion, not a spreadsheet you built at 7 a.m. You need the actual trade records, the communication logs. The timeline, you need what is on the server. You go back in, day by day. You request data the way they trained you, normal reports. Standard queries, you bury the real searches inside routine work. You are not stealing. You are just reading very carefully. Week 4, you stay late every night. You photograph your screens with your personal phone. You don't print anything. Printers log every page. You learn that from the SCSC cases you read. You disguise your CC check-ins as gym reminders. You check every Tuesday at 7 p.m. You time every data pull to look routine. You request broad data sets and extract what you need quietly. You are hiding in plain sight. The best place to be invisible is exactly where everyone expects you. You badge in, you nod at security, you take the elevator, you sit at your desk, you open Bloomberg. You are the same person doing the same things. Except now there is a federal case file with your fingerprints on it. Your hands shake every time. You photograph 17 screens over 4 nights. You email them to yourself. You use a new email address created at a library, on a public computer. You are careful. You have to be. You overhear things. 2 analysts in the kitchen. One mentions a call from a consultant. The other says quiet. You don't turn around. You fill your water glass. You walk away. You add it to the legal pad that night. You go to the library, a public computer. You create an account on the SEC whistleblower portal. You stare at the form for 40 minutes. Then you log out. You walk to the library in the rain. You don't take a cab. Cabs have cameras. You are thinking like a criminal. You are not a criminal. You are reporting one. The distinction feels thinner every day. You need a lawyer. You can't afford one. You search pro bono securities attorneys. You find 3 names. New security. Tighter badge checks. You notice the change. The building is locking down. You check your burner email under the counter at lunch. No updates. You exhale. You eat 3 bites. You are not hungry. Your attorney reads your notes. She doesn't flinch. You have enough. She says it is your decision. She tells you what happens. You file. They investigate. Months, maybe years. Crucible will figure it out. You are the only intern with access. You walk through the park. You think about what you are giving up, the offer letter. The career, the money. You are 21. You could pretend you never saw the spreadsheet. You could finish the internship. You could move on. You see the floor from above. 1 drawn blind. 1 closed door. The rest keeps moving. The machine absorbs the shock. You hear people say, just in case. The phrase echoes through the floor like a virus. Just in case. Just in case. Your friends text. You cancel plans. You can't sit at a bar and make small talk while carrying this. You lose 3 friendships this summer. You don't notice until October. You walk the park until it gets dark. You've never felt more alone. You've never been more certain. The second rule, you learn it sitting on a bench at dusk. You can't unknow what you know. The numbers don't disappear because you close the file. You stand up. You walk home. You know what you are going to do. Saturday, library, your attorney beside you. You fill out the form, 17 photos, a timeline, a 4-page narrative. You hover over submit. Your attorney nods. You click, submission received. It is done. You don't feel brave. You feel sick. You just reported your employer to the federal government. You can't take it back. You read the whistleblower guide on the subway, hidden inside a novel. You feel ridiculous. You keep reading. Monday, you go back to work. You smile. You build models. You fetch coffee. You sit 12 feet from the man you just reported. He asks you to pull Q3 revenue data. You say sure. You do excellent work. Your models are clean. Your decks are tight. You are the best intern they've ever had. Nobody suspects the best intern. That is the whole strategy. You receive praise you can't enjoy. Every compliment feels like a lie you are accepting. You smile anyway. You carry the reports past his office. He waves at you through the glass. You wave back. You are performing the role of a normal intern. The performance is the only thing keeping you safe. You spend Christmas alone. Your family asks why you seem different. You say you are just tired. You sit in parks a lot now. Benches, coffee, silence. You are 22 and you have the habits of a retiree. You lose focus 7 times a day. You catch yourself staring at nothing. Someone asks if you are okay. You say you are fine. Fine is the only answer that works at an $11 billion hedge fund. You get your first SEC email in week 6. Case update. They've assigned an investigator. They may contact you. You read it 4 times. You delete it. You empty the trash. You clear the cache. Your midpoint review goes well, thorough, detail-oriented. You notice the details they were hiding. You go to diners to think. You can't think at the office. You can't think at home. You think in booths at 10 p.m. Your legal pad has 47 entries now. Dates, names, observations. Things you can't unsee. You lie on the floor some nights, not the bed, the floor. The hardness helps you think. You count the entries in the legal pad. 47. Each one is a brick in the wall you were building. You see a therapist in month 8. You can't tell her specifics. You speak in abstractions. You say you saw something wrong and reported it. She asks how that makes you feel. You say tired. You see his face on the television in a bar. The bartender changes the channel. You finish your drink. Week 7. 2 men in gray suits arrive at reception. They don't have crucible badges. They have government ones. You see them through the glass. Your stomach drops. It is happening. The agents walk past your desk. You don't look up. You type. You breathe. You type. Everyone else watches them. You are the only one who doesn't look. You hope nobody notices that. The 5th rule. You learn it while pretending to read a spreadsheet. Doing the right thing feels exactly like doing the wrong thing. Your body can't tell the difference. Fear is fear. The PM is in his office with the agents for 2 hours. The blinds are drawn. Nobody has ever seen the blinds drawn. You build a DCF model. Your hands are steady. Your mind is somewhere behind those blinds. The PM walks to the kitchen. He doesn't look at anyone. He makes an espresso. His hand shakes on the machine. You see the shake. Nobody else is close enough. You pretend you didn't. The office changes after the visit. People leave earlier. Phone calls get quieter. Emails get shorter. You feel the shift like a change in air pressure. The machine is still running, but it knows something is wrong. You start over, new desk, new team. Nobody knows your story. You are just the quiet guy who is good with compliance. You are fine with that. Quiet is what you earned. Your phone buzzes for an hour straight. Every outlet, every feed. The story is everywhere. Your name is nowhere. You made sure of that. You walk past the headlines. You don't stop. You don't buy a copy. You already know every word. You ride the elevator alone. You look at your reflection. You don't recognize the face looking back. 4 weeks ago, you were excited about free lunch. Now you are a federal witness. Your internship ends quietly. They don't offer you a full-time position. Budget cuts, they say. You nod. You shake hands. You know the real reason. They don't. You walk out of the building. You don't look back. You've already taken everything you need. The sexy has subpoenaed trade records. Phone logs next. You ask if they know it was you. Not yet. The word yet sits in your chest. The cursor blinks. The numbers wait. Someone will look. Someone will see. The PM sends you an email. He wants you to pull specific trade records. The same ones you photographed. You read the email 3 times. You can't tell if it is routine or if he knows. You print the records. You bring them to his office. He says thanks without looking up. You walk back to your desk. Your shirt is soaked through. You don't take off your jacket. You lock yourself in the bathroom for 7 minutes. You breathe. You count to 10. You breathe again. You go back to your desk. You build a model. You smile at the analyst who asks about your weekend. You stand at the river. You think about the kid who walked into that building 2 years ago. He doesn't exist anymore. You are someone else now. Someone who saw something and didn't look away. An empty desk. A blank notebook. A badge with no name yet. The machine needs someone sitting here by Monday. It always does. You hope the next person looks at the numbers. You hope they can't sleep. You hope they're 21 and stubborn and scared. That is all it takes. You start running every morning, 5 a.m., along the river. You run until your lungs burn. You can't control the investigation. You can't control who finds out. You can control your breathing. You check the SEC portal every week. Case status active. That is all it ever says. You apply to 47 jobs. You get 8 interviews. You get 2 offers. Neither is in hedge funds. You learn that Crucible didn't give you a reference. You learn that silence is its own kind of message. Week 8. The PM doesn't come in on Monday or Tuesday. His assistant says he is working from home. Nobody believes that. You know what it means. The machine is breaking down. You hear fragments, subpoena, legal counsel, administrative leave. You hear your own heartbeat louder than the words. A company-wide email arrives. The CEO says Crucible is cooperating fully with regulatory inquiries. He calls it routine. You read the word routine. You think about the 17 photos on your burner email. Nothing about this is routine. Compliance calls you in. Your stomach falls through the floor. He asks if anyone has contacted you about the investigation. You say no. He asks if you've noticed anything unusual. You say you've been focused on your work. You say you are just an intern. He nods. He thanks you. He opens the door. Your legs feel like water. You walk back to your desk. You sit down. You don't stand up for 2 hours. You know what her screens look like. You know what the numbers hide. You know what she'll feel when she finds it. You hope she finds it. You hope she finds it. You hope she is braver than she thinks. Every tower holds a spreadsheet. Every spreadsheet holds a story. Some stories stay hidden, some don't. You were the reason, one of them didn't. The SEC has enough to proceed. These cases take 2 to 4 years. You'll be 23 before it is over. You lie in bed and think about time. 2 to 4 years. You'll graduate. You'll look for jobs. You'll explain the gap on your resume. The 7th rule. Doing the right thing doesn't come with a timeline. It comes with a cost you pay monthly. You graduate. You don't mention Crucible on your resume. You don't mention the SEC. You don't mention anything. Your classmates go to Goldman, Morgan Stanley, Citadel. You go to a compliance firm for $60,000 a year. Your office has no view. Your desk has one monitor. Your salary is a third of what your classmates make. You tell yourself it is temporary. Your attorney says the case is progressing. 18 months after you clicked submit, the headline breaks. Crucible Capital PM indicted, $31 million in illegal profits. You read it on the subway. Your hands don't shake this time. You buy a copy of the paper, you hold it in your hands. Your evidence is on the front page. Your name is nowhere. You are exactly where you wanted to be, invisible. Correct, alone. You don't celebrate. You don't call anyone. You stand in your apartment and read the article twice. You were right. You always knew you were right. Being right doesn't feel like winning. It feels like surviving. You walk past the building 6 months later, different name on the lobby for lease signs in the windows. Crucible is gone. You stop for 3 seconds. You look at the lobby where you first showed your badge. Then you keep walking. You attend the trial, back row. Nobody knows your name. Nobody knows you are the one who filed. The PM looks smaller now. His suit doesn't fit right. You remember when he waved at you through the glass. You don't feel anger. You don't feel triumph. You feel empty, not sad, not proud. Just the quiet of a decision that cost you everything. The PM is convicted. 7 counts. Your attorney calls it a win. You call it the end of something that started because you couldn't sleep. You never go back inside. You don't need to. You can see it in your mind. The desks, the screens, the glass office where he waved. The machine stopped. You were the one who pulled the plug. The SEC whistleblower award arrives. 7 figures. You stare at the check. You earned this because you couldn't sleep. None of it feels real. You deposit the check. You pay off your loans. You buy nothing else. You have money and 0 references from Crucible Capital. Your legal pad sits in a drawer, 47 entries. You don't read it anymore. You remember every line. You interview at firms. They ask about the gap on your resume. You say you did consulting work. You don't elaborate. Some firms Google you, some don't. The ones who know the story don't call back. The ones who don't know it sometimes do. You walk past the buildings your classmates work in. You don't envy them. You don't pity them. You think about the spreadsheet, 14 minutes, 7 trades. You do it again. You know that for certain. The 11th rule. You learn it after everything is over. The cost of doing the right thing is never what you expect. It is never what they tell you. You paid with 2 years. A career path, a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. You got back something else. You sleep through the night now. That is worth more than the check. Your attorney texts, case closed. 2 words that took 3 years. You read them once. You put the phone down. You go back to work. The work is different now. The work is clean. Different building, different fund. Different name on the glass, same city, same summer, same money. A new intern stands on the sidewalk. 21, new suit. She beat 900 applicants. She doesn't know what the fund does exactly. She knows it manages $8 billion. Her badge says summer analyst. Her floor is 27. The elevator requires a key card. She sits at her desk. She pulls her first data report. She scrolls through the numbers. She doesn't know what wrong looks like yet. She will. The machine doesn't need her name. It just needs someone at the desk. Someone willing to look at the numbers. You hope she looks carefully. You hope she sees what is there. You hope she can't sleep either. Somewhere in this city, someone is staring at a spreadsheet. The numbers don't add up. They know it. They're deciding what to do. They're 21. They can't sleep. The cursor blinks.